Welcome to a poorly lit episode of the Auntie's Tired podcast with your tired ass auntie niece. Hi, that's me. I am currently cooking in my fucking car. I got the windows down. I want to turn the air on, but it's going to be too much feedback, so I'm going to have to struggle through this. I always say that I'm not going to make these long, and then it end up being an hour. So I'm going to try, but I already know I'm not going to succeed at keeping a time limit. Ooh, baby. So this one is going to be about toxic parents. Specifically, older children who do not associate with said parents. I'm going to try and get as much in to a short period of time as possible, but I ain't gonna lie to you. We probably gonna be here for an hour. Oh shit. You ever see those posts on Facebook? A lot of these come from social media. A lot of these topics come from social media, or someone presenting a question or a conversation that was had. And this one comes from two different places. It comes from a conversation that was had and a Facebook post that I saw along that same conversation line. They did not happen at the same time, but you get where I'm going with this. Why do adult children stop associating with their parents? It is really easy to put it off on the child and, oh, they're just being disrespectful and woo woo woo. But are they? I see it a lot. I don't say nothing, but the previous generation, some of y'all niggas was abused. And y'all think that form of abusive parenting was fucking normal, so you did it to your kids. But then your kids happen to be my generation that decided that this shit isn't normal and chose to, once they got old enough or once they got that out, to not fuck with you anymore. Some of y'all need y'all asses whooped for some of the shit that y'all said to and about children who stopped associating with their parents. Some of y'all need y'all ass whooped. I used to hear older people when I was growing up saying shit like that little girl fast and all this other stuff. It wasn't until I got to a certain age. I developed pretty early. I've been busty my entire fucking existence. I started puberty at like 9. Yes, bitch, 9. But you saw this similar pattern with girls that developed early being told not to be fast or couldn't wear certain shit around such and such, or, just in general, weird shit. And then you hear that shit your whole fucking life, and now you got issues with your body. Not saying that's what happened with me, but that's a story time. But those types of conversations and berating and shit, I always thought that was weird growing up, because I'm like, well, how is a person's body developing a reason for you to be the way you are toward them? Like, okay, most kids that hit puberty don't even understand what's going on with them. They just know their body is doing some strange fucking shit. They just, that's what they know. And you can explain it to them until you're blue in the face and they can be educated about it. But once they're going through it, their skin's changing. They got pimples, hair in weird fucking places, a period. Like, there's so many things happening to them, but their minds are still minds of children. And then you have this overgrown motherfucker telling them, specifically little girls, oh, that little girl's being fast, you being fast, you being fast. No, 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 no. You need to be checking them grown ass fucking men that are looking at that child as an object. A lot of you, especially you young black girls, were objectified before you even knew what your body was doing. So then you got to a certain age and you're like, I don't want to fuck with y'all no more. You took the side of everyone else except for me. This is just scenario wise, right? Or the son, what's up, nephews? Or the son that was forced to be a daddy type shit to other siblings and basically did not have a fucking childhood. And had to deal with guilt tripping because they don't want to raise the children that you pushed out. The two of y'all laid there and made ugly faces. 9 months later, a baby came. That's y'all's responsibility, not the oldest child, not the oldest son. Again, scenario sake. A lot of y'all robbed your children of their innocence before the world could ever do it. Telling them they not shit. Beating them for the smallest shit. Over punishing them. Like, y'all know how I do. I gotta double back a little bit. We are speaking about toxic, abusive behaviors in parenting that have resulted in the adult child no longer fucking with their parents. We are not talking about simple discipline. We're not talking about you grounding your child, taking their phone, popping their hand because they touched the outlet. We're not talking about simple discipline. We are talking about you motherfuckers that needed so much control over your children because your life was out of control, or that's just how I was brought up. Fuck you. Okay? And I'm not talking to the ones that have grown with the times and have realized that the way that they were brought up was fucked up and that they are also victims of abuse and have gone back and apologized to their adult children, or trying to fix a situation, or trying to understand where they fucked up and heal those wounds. I'm not talking to y'all because y'all are also breaking a generational curse from y'all's time period, because a lot of y'all's parents didn't apologize to y'all either for the shit that they did to you. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about you motherfuckers that think that everything you did in your parenting was right. And it has resulted in you no longer having a fucking relationship with your adult child. I get so sick of people blaming adult children. And we're not talking about the ones that have stolen shit and are on drugs and all that stupid shit. Y'all know what we're talking about. We're on topic. I get sick of that shit. I'm weirded out too, and this is a whole nother subject, but it's a small tie-in. I'm always weirded out by children that run away. The first thing y'all always want to say is, oh, they don't like the rules of my house. They want to be grown. No. What are you doing that your home is some place for them to feel like they need to escape from? A lot of y'all motherfuckers lack accountability, and it has been detrimental to your adult children who were once just babies. You lack accountability for the shit that you said, the shit that you did, the shit you allowed. You lack that accountability. That's why your adult children don't fuck with you. And some of y'all know in y'all heart of hearts that y'all was wrong, but what you do is that you gaslight them into thinking that those things did not fucking happen. Oh my gosh. But they did. No matter how much you tell them it didn't happen, baby, it did. It did. It fucking did. It is very real for them. I am not above apologizing to my children. I'm not. Because I know how much weight an apology carries, especially when something is unresolved and it's there and it's festering and it's just multiplying into all these different areas of your life. It's fucking you up because you're holding on to something that you know you may never get. And some of y'all did not get an apology. Some of y'all are just having to what without it. And some of y'all have made great parents because you don't want your babies going through the same shit that you went through. And for that, I salute you. Straight up. That is some admirable shit. That is a generational curse that you broke it. It stopped with you. And if nobody's told you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, nieces and nephews, because I know there's single dads out there. It's a lot of y'all that grew up without y'all dads that ended up being wonderful fucking fathers. Successful men. Doing the right thing. Making memories with your kids. Shit that they're never going to forget. Because you know what it's like to not have it. I don't ever want this for somebody else. That's a huge part. It's a huge part of breaking generational curses. Especially with toxic parenting. And a lot of y'all coming for your edges today because I got to. Because I can only speak for my community. I know that this is probably a human issue, but I'm going to speak to my community. Some of y'all of a certain age need to apologize to y'all's kids. You need to, because you weren't always right. I'm not saying that children don't make mistakes and teenagers don't make mistakes, but I will never for the life of me understand how you get mad at what they're telling you did that hurt them. Some of y'all have cut y'all adult children off because they fucking outed your shit. Y'all will, that's your mother, that's still your mother, that's your father, that's still your father, that's your brother, that's still your brother, a nigga to death. Okay? Just because that statement is true does not mean that you still have to fuck with somebody who is toxic. Those adult children that have stepped away from their fucking parents due to maltreatment, favoritism, colorism, all the isms. Those adult children stepped away. They stepped away. They stepped away because this is my out. They stepped away because I don't want to keep going through this shit. They stepped away because, yeah, you're my mother and yeah, you gave birth to me, but you did not behave as a mother should have. I'm not talking about, oh, you made a motherfucker do the dishes and now they mad, but they did the dishes anyway because you're teaching them how to, have a clean house, because ain't nobody gonna be cleaning up after your ass unless you got money and a maid. I'm not talking about because you made the little motherfucker do their homework because they needed the grades to pass. They need to learn to read and write. I'm not talking about simple shit like that. I'm talking about the systematic breakdown of a motherfucker's mind and spirit. Some of y'all were y'all kids' first fucking bullies. Some of y'all ruined your kids before the world ever got their fucking hands on them. That is your fault. Some of them never fucking recover. Some of them find peace in the wrong shit. If they don't get love at home, they're going to go find it somewhere else. It may be with the wrong motherfucking person, the wrong motherfucking substance, alcohol, anything to fill that void because you fucked up as a parent. And then for those that have decided that I'm not going to go that way, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to try and fix me, and I'm going to make sure that when I have kids, that more power to you again. Then they grow and they start families and they have children, and you think somehow that you are entitled to their fucking children. Why would they let you around their kids when you dog walk them as children? If you fucked me up when I was little, through my teens, gaslit me in my 20s, had everybody, this still your mama, this still your mama, instead of you being a motherfucking adult and apologizing for your shit, for correcting your shit. Do you actually think that you are justified, that you are owed access to someone's children? It doesn't matter if those are your fucking grandchildren or not. Do you actually think, would you leave your children with someone who's abusing them? Some of you bitches would, some of you niggas would, but for the sake of conversation, no. So then why would they trust you if you did that to them? Some of y'all were verbally abusive. Some of y'all over-sexualized little girls by calling them fast and saying that they don't need to do such and such when such and such is over. Well, maybe, just maybe, instead of chastising this fucking child, maybe you not have the person that you fear is objectifying your child in their space. Y'all had that shit so bad. Y'all had that shit so bad. Oh, that little girl's fast. No, that child is exposed. The child is exposed. Kids don't come in this motherfucker knowing the shit that we know as adults. They're exposed. And instead of calling little girl fast, maybe figure out who the fuck exposed little girl to inappropriate shit. There are so many black girls, black women running around with unhealed trauma from sexual abuse or being objectified by their own family members. It is fucking astounding to me. And a lot of y'all have realized that behavior wasn't normal. It's not normal to sit there and tell a little girl she's being fast just because your nasty ass sibling is looking at her. Or that she developed early, so somehow that is her fault. Somehow that makes her a sexual being because, let's just say, she's 9 fucking years old and has boobs or a period. Some of y'all did not get to be children because your parents ripped that from you. And then you grew up to become an adult that has decided, I don't want to fuck with you anymore. Your sons. Some of y'all ruined your sons or attempted to ruin your sons or almost ruined your sons by putting too much responsibility on them. By telling them that they weren't doing enough. By making them fight for the love they should already have from you. By playing favorites. By doing more for one than you would for the other. I'm not saying everything is going to be broke down, divvied up evenly. I'm not saying that. But when you are making one feel some type of way because of how you feel, don't be surprised when that young man grows up and is like, you know what? I didn't like the way that felt. I'm good. I'm good. There are so many of y'all that have just decided that y'all good. Sorry if it's in the mic. Medicine gives me dry mouth. Some of y'all were raised thinking that fucking your kids up for every little thing was normal. Some of y'all were raised where you felt like you couldn't say shit because it was deemed disrespectful. Oh, this shit. Just because someone has a differing thought, so a different thought process, or they don't agree, does not make them disrespectful. There is a generation of folk out there that think that because someone else thinks differently or refuses something, it means that y'all think everything's fucking disrespectful. Y'all want to be able to say what the fuck you want to say and not have anybody say anything back. Again, we are not talking about simple discipline. We're not talking about, when your mom tells you, hey, I need you to do this. here, this task here, because I'm working on this task in the house. We're working on getting the house together, and you flat out refuse, and you start cussing and swearing and rolling your eyes and slamming doors and shit. We're not talking about the simple shit the kids do, okay? Because I feel like a lot of kids do that shit. A lot of kids get that little twinge of attitude, or you see it in their body language, because it's not something they want to do. They just want to be on their phone and shit. We're not talking about that, because that's modern day parenting bullshit. Just comes with the territory. What I am talking about is y'all thinking every fucking thing is disrespectful. Y'all thinking that kids having opinions, not being disrespectful, but having opinions is disrespectful. Y'all think anything that challenges you is disrespectful. I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. You know what is disrespectful, though? Tearing your kids down. Telling them they ain't gonna be shit. Calling them names. Over punishing them. Making them babysitters before they're even old enough to understand what responsibility is. Stealing their childhood so you can have your time. That's disrespectful. You know what else is disrespectful? Gaslighting them. I wasn't even gonna wait for the pause on that one. Fuck a speed bump, bitch. You know what else is disrespectful? Gang mentality shit amongst your family members. When that person doesn't agree with you, the first thing you do is try to get other like-minded individuals to gang up on them. Or what you do is you guys do the emotional assault, and you go and talk to family members that they may be close to get them to talk to you. And that, there, children, is called manipulation. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. The fuck? It blows my mind how, and I'm not going to say it's the whole previous generation. It's a lot of y'all, though. Somebody somewhere needs to go apologize to their adult child. You feeling some type of way because you were left out. You were left out of things, milestones in their lives as they got older. You feeling some type of way about this shit, but only you have you to blame for it. And y'all motherfuckers that are constantly pushing that shit up, but they're still your mother. How much disappointment and disrespect does a person have to go through before you shut the fuck up and realize what it is? Some of y'all don't even check your problematic ass siblings. Some of y'all don't. And the ones that do, baby, are black sheeps. Auntie sees y'all. Imagine being outcasted because you told the truth. Imagine being outcasted because you stood up for a child. Imagine being outcasted because you outed Uncle Nasty. Imagine that. Some of y'all need to put yourselves in the shoes of the people that you are outcasting. And I guarantee you, just the thought of it make your ass a little bit. And if it don't, then bitch, you are a problem and you need therapy. Matter of fact, I feel like a requirement of humanity right now is to go get therapy, nigga. You don't get to tell someone that what you did to them didn't happen. You don't get to tell them, oh, that I'm just doing my best. Or that stupid shit they're saying, oh, you modern age mothers, y'all this, y'all that. Because of what? Because of what? Because I'm not fucking my kids up? Because I'm actually listening to my kids? Because I'm actually gaining the figuring out who they are? A lot of y'all wanted to blanket raise your children, not realizing that each individual little person had their own personality. By today's standards, I know I always mention my 6-year-old, but y'all, he is literally a grumpy old man. Okay? And it is, my family even knows this. Both of my family knows it. They know that my 6-year-old is a grumpy old man. My oldest, he acts like an old man. Then there's my second one. I call him the engineer. That little boy can build and fix and do anything with some Legos. You get that boy a box and he gonna figure out what to do with it. Then there's grumpy grandpa. And then there's the baby. And everybody knows that the baby is usually the one that starts all the shit. The baby is the shit starter. But we're focusing on grumpy grandpa real quick. My 6-year-old is blunt. By the previous generation standards, he would be considered disrespectful, and y'all would be trying to fuck my baby up. Weird how you can't listen long enough to comprehend what is being said to you. Some of y'all don't have the emotional intelligence needed to raise children, but kept popping them motherfuckers out, damaging souls once they cross the plane. Some of y'all have these estranged relationships with your children, and it's so obvious to other family members, like we know why, but it's never spoken upon. Then you get the cousins that end up cool and they start talking, and then you realize, well, damn, we kind of went through something similar. Scenario sake. Kind of went through something similar. You got too many motherfucking people out here that are sharing really negative and kind of horrible experiences due to the fact that they were bullied by their parents. And I'm not even going to, no, actually, no, I am going to get into it. The other thing that I realized growing up and watching some of my friends, because I've got some pretty ass friends, okay, bitch? I got some pretty ass friends. But some of you hoes, some of you old hoes, were jealous of your own daughters. Some of you hoes were mad that your sons look like the nigga that left you. Some of you men folk were so afraid that your daughter is going to get treated the way that you treated women. Imagine that. So you do a little spiteful shit. Oh, you can't leave the house. You can't hang out with your friends. Woo, woo, woo. Or you don't need to be wearing that. And it be something innocent. Teenage girl shit. Teenage boy shit. And y'all will stop them from doing it because of your own internalized bullshit. That shit's weird. I saw a post, y'all, and if I can find the shit, I would share it. And it was so troubling that I didn't even know how to process the shit. It was a post that a man made saying, I hope my daughter doesn't grow up sucking dick. The fact that you are even thinking past her innocence in that way is disturbing. What is it with y'all and objectifying and sexualizing children? They don't even know what sex is. You're robbing them of their innocence, and then you wonder why they be calling y'all fucking names behind your back. Weird ass shit. You women folk out there jealous of the nieces and nephews. My nieces and nephews, referring to y'all, my nieces and nephews. And you treat them some type of way because you are insecure. Oh my gosh. Oh, bitch. You don't want them doing anything or growing up and blossoming and sprouting and being popular because you weren't. Like those weird ass people that cut their daughter's hair on fucking Facebook and TikTok. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Then you wonder as they get older when they don't fuck with you. Well, bitch, you remember the time that you felt the need to have me on TikTok and chop all my motherfucking hair off? We're not going to talk about that. Oh, but that was you doing the best that you could do. Some of y'all's best isn't even a fucking attempt. Some of y'all's best is not a fucking attempt. It's not an attempt at all. It's not. It's a cop-out. I did the best I could. Parenting doesn't come with a manual. Of course it doesn't come with a manual. Of course it doesn't. Because every child is fucking different. But you know, right now, for the sake of conversation, there are two extreme outcomes from parenting. Either your kids are going to fuck with you or they're not. And you ain't gonna have nobody to blame but your motherfucking self if they don't. You also ain't gonna have nobody to blame if they do. And if your children fuck with you on that level and they fuck with you strong, you did what you needed to do, and more power to you. If you are actively trying to heal these burnt bridges, if you're trying to close the wounds, if you're trying to understand where you fucked up again, more power to you. Because again, some of y'all don't understand the weight an apology carries. I truly hope that we stop this shit. You don't have to be disrespectful to not fuck with your parents. You can love them from a distance and realize that this is not going to work for you. But some of y'all keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until that adult child snaps the fuck off and lets you truly have what has been festering in their spirit. All the hurts, all the denials, all the stupid shit that they went through that was not necessary for them to go through. You gonna catch that fucking bag of Lucky Charms, baby. Hearts, stars, and horseshoes. You gonna catch it. Because a lot of y'all keep pushing the fucking envelope instead of realizing that, damn, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I'm the trauma. Maybe I'm the problem. And when you realize that you're the problem, don't fucking guilt trip your child. Don't do that shit. Don't do it. It's pathetic. Don't do that. Don't call them crying about how you fucked up. Oh, I just was doing the best I could. I don't know. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Because again, you are projecting, you are putting shit on their plate that has nothing to do with them. Fix your shit. We say this fix your shit. Fix your shit. Fix your shit. Fix your fucking shit. Because I'm telling you, it's not anybody else's responsibility to fix your shit. Oh, and then if you did grow up in a 2-parent home and one parent was toxic and the other one was an enabler, the enablers that sit around and know that their spouse is fucked up but don't say anything, y'all need to fix your shit too. You damage both relationships off of the strength of how one person treated that adult child. Before y'all go saying that, oh, they just didn't get their way, or whatever it is that y'all use to try and justify why your adult child is not talking to you, maybe, just maybe, look at where it starts. A lot of times it is unhealed shit from their childhood. Those of you who are never going to get an apology, that's a hard one to swallow, but it is very true. Ultimately, on both sides, it is up to you to fix your shit. Your toxic ass parent is not going to fix your shit. Your new spouse isn't going to fix your shit. Your kids are not going to fix your shit. If you are running around here with unhealed trauma and you're bitter because you've never gotten that apology, baby, you're going to have to fix that. Because motherfuckers can stand on some shit until they die, come back, die again, and still be standing on their shit. Still be standing on their shit. So you're going to have to get to a place where you're just going to have to be okay with this is just what it is. But how can I effectively change myself and how I'm reacting to this situation? Because some of y'all's parents will never see the error of their ways because they don't want to. They think because their grandmother made them kneel on bricks or made them, walk a country mile in fucking sweltering heat with, I don't know, something heavy, boulders on their back, or that, again, you got slapped with a Hot Wheels track, or that you couldn't have an opinion because you were talking back, or anything that they will justify that shit in their minds because they are so blinded to the fact that that shit was abuse. It's disrupting the narrative. They did those things because they loved me. No, they didn't. No. Me stopping my child from sticking something in a socket is me loving him, protecting him, because I don't want you to kill yourself by being curious. Because toddlers, listen, baby, that era of being a toddler is basically you stopping a kid from killing themselves for like 5 years straight. Because kids don't have no fucking fear. They just don't. Or, hey, don't cross the street while the cars are coming. Or don't touch this because it's hot. Like toddlers are unhinged little creatures. They're fun and they're cool as shit. Because, they walk around with their little baby pot bellies and shit. But toddlers are some unhinged little humans. They are. But when they think those things that they went through were okay and they can't separate, they can't fathom, baby, you're not getting shit. You're not getting an apology. And that's just Auntie keeping it real with you. You're not getting that. Because if they don't think there was any error, baby, there's no room for correction. If they think they know everything, then you can't teach them nothing. I'm sorry that a lot of y'all have not gotten that closure that's necessary from the things that you went through in your childhood. I'm sorry that some of y'all went through some straight up atrocities in your childhood, in your upbringing, your teenage years. I'm sorry that, y'all were labeled, mislabeled. I'm sorry that your childhood was essentially stolen. Your innocence was essentially stolen. I'm sorry that you didn't get to just be a fucking kid unapologetically. But I am also really happy to see y'all breaking these curses. Y'all actively changing the narrative. I'm truly happy to see it, especially in my own community. There are so many of y'all that are good daddies. Pardon me again. Told y'all, the nasty fucking whipped cream. People who like whipped cream are unhinged. You're nasty. You're nasty. You like whipped air. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of you good daddies that are out here being daddies with no fucking example. That shit's tough. Because you truly don't know if you're doing it right. But you got somewhat of an idea, so you're trying. Those of you who didn't have good examples of motherhood, who didn't have that nurturing, yet you are the most nurturing, patient mother. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of healing first and then being able to do it the right way. Spoil your children. Because I don't believe there's a way for you to spoil them. And I'm not talking about the materialistic shit either. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spoil your children with so much love and so much affection that they won't need to go out into the world searching for it and ending up running into the wrong type. You know, lies disguised as love. Love on your babies so they don't go through the things that you went through. Apologize to your babies when you're doing too much. Look, I get it. As a parent, you get overstimulated, touched out, and some more shit. They always hungry. The refrigerator's never closed. And somebody is crying because somebody took something from somebody else. I get it. Parenthood is probably the second worst hood we've all lived in outside of adulthood in 2023. But spoil them with those things. Build them up. Build up their confidence. Tell them that they're more than enough. Tell them how wonderful they are. Because I'm telling you, I got boys. Boys. I'm one short of starting 5, baby. But it's something when my 13-year-old, I feel like I've been hard on him, but it wasn't until his National Junior Honor Society is a ceremony they had at the end of the year last year, and I went up to him. I was like, hey, my bad, because it was a whole confusion about him needing a tie, and he's a kid, so they forget stuff or they know stuff and then they don't say nothing, and then they think you're supposed to rush last minute. Again, teenagers are also unhinged too. But I told him, I'm like, I'm sorry for being so hard on you about that. He looked me dead in the face and said, no, honestly, Nene, if you hadn't stayed on me, I wouldn't have did it. And I'm telling y'all, the Grinch, that scene where his heart gets all big? That was me. That was me. I tell my boys that they're smart, that they can do anything they set their mind to. Teaching them how to apply themselves when it's necessary. Teaching them to look out for each other. Teaching them, not to bully. Teaching them, teaching them emotional intelligence. Like, I'm not with that whole boys don't cry shit. No, fuck that. You have tear ducts. Let that shit out so you're not running around here angry and acting out of your anger. I don't want any child to feel less than. I don't. But mine, I really don't want that. I don't. Tell them that they're handsome. We all roast each other in the car, but I get thank yous from my boys. Mommy, thank you for taking care of me. What? What, little Nick? You really try to make me cry type shit. I made my son some tea, and he was so thankful for it because he just wasn't feeling good. I knew he was feeling like shit. But it's those little things like that that let me know, okay, maybe I'm doing it right. And then some of y'all are going through the exact same thing that I'm going through. And you're like, damn, I'm doing it right. Or at least I got an idea what the fuck I'm doing. Those little confirmations along the way, if you don't think you're doing it right, ask yourself, do your kids feel like, those are for you who have dealt with the toxic parenthood and have stepped away from that shit. Ask yourself, do you think your kids feel like how you felt? I guarantee you it'll be no. I guarantee you it'll be no. Keep going. And fuck whoever ain't there. They don't get shit. Don't give them shit. Don't give them time, energy. Don't. Is an iPhone that is not fully charged. It is. I'm gonna finish this up though because I wasn't done saying what the fuck I had to say, damn it. Okay, so the settings aren't going to be the same, but I'm going to try and edit this so the color matches. But until then, hi. Don't give anybody shit that is not pouring into you, especially with your parenthood and your children. Don't give them no time. Don't give them no energy. Don't even fart in their fucking general direction. Don't fucking do it. Because they're not even worth that. They're not. Y'all got to understand that, you know how they used to tell us when we were little, oh, kids are the future, and it was all cheesy and shit. There's so much weight behind that statement. There's so much weight behind that statement. It's more than material shit. It's more than that. How are we supposed to grow if the very seeds we're supposed to be planting we're not watering? Like, how are we supposed to do that? We still out here damaging people and then being mad that they don't want to fuck with us no more. We still out here fucking up. The best thing to do if you are this toxic parent that I'm referring to today in the several examples and rants and cuss words, try and make amends. But I am going to tell you now, you are not owed shit. So if you do reach out and your child does not respond, or again, adult child, does not respond or rejects what you're saying, so be it. So be it. And it sucks because it's some real shit. You can say sorry to a motherfucker 120,000 times, but until they're ready to forgive you and or talk to you again, there ain't shit you can do. Lashing out at them, I've already apologized. I've forgiven myself. Okay, bitch, and? All the animation out of the way. Just fix it. And if it can't be fixed in the way of closure, the way that you want the closure to be, you're going to have to make your own. If you're not getting that apology, if you're not getting the accountability, you are going to have to make peace with that as your closure. And you're going to have to move forward. You are. You are going to have to move forward. You're not going to be able to move on and heal effectively if you are still holding on to shit. You are going to have to let it go. Listen, I'm an overly forgiving person. Almost to a fault. I have my limits. So when I tell you as a person that you can forgive someone but not fuck with them again, I'm an example of that. I know where I fuck up, try to apologize for it. There are people that don't fuck with me no more because they may have received a different version of me than everyone else has. And you know what? That's okay. Because I fucked that up. So I gotta eat it. And if your adult child does not want to fuck with you anymore, baby, you're going to have to eat it. What is this? I don't even know what the timestamp on the last one was because the shit died. Damn. All right. This concludes episode 4 of the Auntie's Tired podcast. I'm your auntie niece. I'm going to leave y'all with this. If nobody's told y'all, you adults that have separated yourself from toxic shit, from your parents, from whoever your caregivers were that didn't do what they were supposed to do. If nobody's told you, I'm proud of you. I'm telling you. When someone tells you that they're proud of you, believe them. I'm proud of you. You may want that from somebody that you hold so highly in your mind, and I get that because I've been there. But sometimes y'all get more love from the strangers and friends and work friendships that you have than you do from the motherfuckers that you're related to. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, nieces and nephews. If nobody has said it to you today, I am proud of you, and somebody loves you. I have an Instagram. It is art related. It is niece _ the THE _ artiste. ARTEEST. And if any of y'all ever want to talk, y'all can DM me there. I don't mind. Because I know what it's like. I'm the OG at work now. That's wild. I was some of y'all's age at one point. I was in my 20s and shit. Out here free balling it. Just fucking up. But if y'all ever need to talk, y'all can DM me. Auntie does not give a fuck. I got time. You got questions? I got answers. They're going to be a little unfiltered and probably a tad bit unhinged, but I promise to do my best not to lead you in the wrong direction. Again, it's Niece the Artiste on Instagram. If you ever want to chat. I love y'all. I would say put on some lotion, but I definitely didn't do that this morning, so I need to put on some lotion. Until next week, episode 5 does not have a title. I love y'all. All right. Bye. Again. And I want to double down on fucking whipped cream being nasty. Y'all are some truly tragic motherfuckers that like whipped cream. Until next week. Love y'all. Bye.